Hey, good morning, church. This morning, as I was studying my Bible reading plan, we were in Matthew chapter 13, and it reminded me of Pastor Sean this past Sunday as he brought our New Year's series, It's Simple, to a close as we were looking at what it means to grow spiritually this coming year. But if you remember this past Sunday, Pastor Sean mentioned the importance of us as followers of Jesus fulfilling the Great Commission, fulfilling what God's called us to do, and that is to share the gospel at some point with words. And what we always say is, hey, let's love our neighbor, let's learn their name, let's learn their story, and pray that the Holy Spirit will give us a chance to share the gospel. But let me take 100-pound weight off of you in terms of sharing the gospel or the words of evangelism. And at the same time, let me challenge you and encourage you a little bit as a follower of Jesus. When it comes to you and I sharing our faith, what responsibility do we have? Look at Matthew chapter 13, verse 18. I'm going to read it to us. It says, "Hear then the parable of the sower." So this is Jesus talking. He says, "When anyone hears the word of the kingdom and does not understand it, the evil one comes and snatches away what has been sown in his heart." So he's using the imagery of a seed kind of being thrown on the ground, right, in order to produce a crop. Stay with me. Stay with me. He says this is the one on whom the seed was sown beside the road. The one on whom the seed was sown on the rocky places, this is the man who hears the word and immediately receives it with joy. Think about that. Seeds on the rocky ground, the person hears it, immediately they respond. Maybe you've encountered this, but he has no firm root in himself, but is only temporary. And when affliction or persecution arises because of the word or because of his faith in Jesus, immediately he falls away. He goes on. "And the one on whom seed was sown among the thorns, this is the man who hears the word, and the worry of the world and the deceitfulness of wealth choke the word." So it's that person maybe who in your life, maybe you've shared the gospel, maybe they've heard the gospel from somebody else. But hey, there's just too much going on. They're just too busy. They're enamored with what the world has to offer. They don't really see a need for Jesus. And so it doesn't take fruit. And the word actually says it becomes unfruitful. Listen to this, verse 23. "And the one on whom the seed was sown on the good soil, this is the man who hears the word and understands it," listen, "who indeed bears fruit and brings forth some 100-fold, 60-fold, some 30-fold. Here's the 100-pound weight off of your lap. You and I aren't responsible for the soil of which the seed of the gospel falls on. We're just responsible for sharing our faith. At the same time, this passage also is one that leads to evaluation. Hey, which soil am I? Have I received the gospel? And am I producing fruit? It's a question. It's an encouragement for you. At the same time, am I someone who's really kind of on my faith journey? Maybe I'm window shopping Christianity, kicking tires of Christianity. And have I heard the gospel and not responded? And why? Listen, I just want to encourage you on that. If there's further conversation needs to happen, I would love to have that with you. Hey, Restoration, lots of cool things happening here at Restoration over the next couple of weeks. Number one is we're seeing God kind of move again in terms of bringing new people and families to Restoration. Starting point is this Sunday. Super excited about that. The bad news of that is it's full, which means some of you, let me encourage you, wait one more week and sign up for the March class. We're going to do one March 2nd. Looking forward to that as well. Also, baptism coming up this month and next month right here in the Worship Center. So maybe that's your next step of faith is to go through with baptism on that. And then, man, let me just say this. I am super excited for Pastor Sean, Church 242, that we're going to plant in January of next year. Some vision meetings are coming up on that. So I want to encourage you, if you think the Lord may be calling you to be part of a church plant, and let me remind you, Church of 242 is not a campus. It is going to be an autonomous church. And if you think maybe God's calling you in a season of sacrifice to go help plant that or become part of Church 242, vision meetings happening this month and next month as well. More information at the bottom of the video. And listen, super excited about this new series we're starting on Sundays. We're going to look at masculinity and femininity and how it works together from a biblical worldview. Maybe the question for you to kind of think about this week in preparation for Sunday is how do you define what a real man is? Looking forward to teaching on that this Sunday. Hey, church, in the meantime, be on mission.